Hello and a very warm welcome to this special as we look ahead to the big World Cup final in the Under-19 tournament coming up between India and England. Both teams have played well in the tournament. Both have been unbeaten so far, but who's it going to be who will take the trophy? For India, this will be the fifth time they would have won the final. For England, this will be scripting a victory after 24 years. What is it going to be? Lots to discuss here with Nikhil Narayan, with me. Nikhil, India will start as favourites, and ironically, India started as favourites last time around as well against Bangladesh, but they lost that game. Given how India have played in the tournament so far, given that there were players, including the captain Yash Dhul, who had COVID. All of that, they've come out of all of that intact and are looking good. We saw that in the semi-final against Australia as well, so they do start as favourites.
They start as favourites, and overwhelming favourites. I did some number crunching. I think it's 70-30 in India's favour. Meha, just the record, just the overall record, just the record against England. 6-2 India in the head-to-head against England. That's domination. Also 2-1 in knockouts. 37-11 if you see the youth ODI record overall between two sides. 37-11, and we're talking about England. We're not talking about Sri Lanka or Namibia. 10-3 to India since 2016. So all these numbers, Meha, stacked in favour of India, and therefore they start favourites by some distance.
That's right. Also, as we've been saying, India have a stunning record in Under-19 World Cup. 4 titles India have already won. England, in comparison, have just won 1. And even the finals, number of finals that India has got to, Nikhil, 8 in comparison to England. So India do know what it's like to be in a final like that at a world stage, and have been able to win it in the past. Given that, also I think works in favour of India.
Absolutely. 8 finals in 14 editions. That shows, how good India has been since the tournament started in 1988. They've reached the top 4 10 times, Meha, which is a fascinating record. England only the second final since 1998, since 24 years. Interestingly, England haven't done as well in the Under-19 World Cup as one would have imagined a team like England to do. India has been brilliant, and it just shows firstly what a great talent pool we have at the grassroots level, then the great work done by the BCCI. We must commend them at the domestic level. I mean, starting from the days of Yuvraj Singh, Shikhar Dhawan, Prithvi Shaw, Virat Kohli, one after the Unmukh Chand, who didn't play for India but is now playing for USA. One after the other, India has churned out superstars at the Under-19 level who have gone out and then played for India, at least 30-40% of them. So, kudos to India's domestic structure, the robust domestic structure, for making India, do well in this competition year after year, season after season.
That's right. And you get that glimpse of what their futures are going to be like, given how well they've played. We've seen that with Prithvi Shaw, Shubman Gill, and the others from, the earlier World Cups. You talked about Yuvraj and Virat and all the others. But that's true. What will Yash Dhul's future be like? Given how well he's performed in this tournament, it looks bright. So yes, you're right about that. Even for that matter, some of the other players, Vicky Ostwal, the spinner. Let's get into specifics then. It'll also come down to India's bowling against England's batting, and those numbers that'll come up on the screens suggest that, Nikhil, isn't that so? Because when you see the collective batting performance of the two teams, India's bowling is better and England's batting is better.
Very interesting, Meha, that India has the best bowling average, bowling strike rate and economy rate in the tournament. Economy, yes, because they have spinners, there's Ostwal, there's Sindhu. So I'm not surprised about the economy rate. But India, by far the best bowling unit in the tournament. England, interestingly, and this is what I found surprising, the best batting unit in the tournament. India is second, marginally behind England, but England is the best. It seems that what they have done in limited overs cricket in the senior team, that transformation, they've also used some of that strategy with the Under-19 teams. If you see the way they have batted some of their players, they've scored big runs, but more interesting and significant is their strike rate. 4 of them have a strike rate of over 100. No other team has as many batsmen who have scored at a strike rate of 100 plus.
Right.
So England, they are going all out. In the top 4 are going all out, and that is their strategy. That was the strategy built by Ian Morgan and his team. Bairstow, Roy, Hales, they all employed that strategy and won the 2019 World Cup.
That's right. Now this match is going to be played in North Sound in Antigua. What we've seen in this tournament so far is in the last match that happened in North Sound in Antigua, Pakistan ended up scoring 365 runs there against Sri Lanka at the loss of 3 wickets. So you can see that it is possibly going to be a high-scoring match.
Yeah.
But advantage batting first.
Yeah.
The record suggests that, and I think both the teams would want to bat first, given that there is going to be scoreboard pressure in a final.
Absolutely. The average score batting first is around 260. You just mentioned Pakistan scored 360 odd, which is the highest at this venue in this tournament. Advantage batting first for Shaw Meha, 4-1 in the last 5 matches. The wicket is it's a batter-friendly wicket amongst all grounds in this tournament. Batting average is highest at North Sound. Bowling average is lowest at North Sound. So win the toss, bat first. There was rain predicted today in the morning and afternoon. So should be interesting. But win the toss, bat first. High pressure chasing is always difficult.
Okay, let's talk about the batting then for India. 2 standout performance. Yashdul leading from the front. We saw that even with that wonderful 100 against Australia in the semi-finals, and also Raghuvanshi, who's been scoring in this tournament 278 at a strike rate of 90.
Yeah.
Really, again, given the kind of form they are in, and given that there was expectations from someone like Harnoor Singh, who's not been able to do well, they would want to get big runs in a crucial match like this.
Absolutely. Harnoor Singh, as you mentioned, he is the more talented of the 2 openers. Raghuvanshi is a more consistent performer, but Harnoor Singh, they say they have built him for bigger things. See, Raghuvanshi he's the highest scorer for India in the tournament. He scored that brilliant century against Uganda, but Yashdul impressed me. So firstly, he scored that brilliant 82 against South Africa. India were 11 for 2 under pressure. The captain, he took India to victory with that knock. Then post-COVID, against Australia in the semi-final, again India had lost both their openers, and we saw what he did, a brilliant 100. Yeah. So this guy, Delhi-born, attitude, captain, he's reminding, knock knock Virat Kohli, So, this guy is certainly one for the future.
Also to remember that I'm sure these people follow Virat Kohli and see him as their idol, and I won't be surprised if, Delhi Capitals wants him and goes and bids for him. Yeah. But okay, let's talk about India's bowling, and that's led by Vicky Ostwal. Great future ahead. He has been the highest impact player for India in this World Cup. And just the way he has been performing, 12 wickets, economy, he controls the middle overs brilliantly. Just what do you expect out of your spinner?
Absolutely. He's a match winner with the ball. Usually slow left-arm bowlers are restrictive bowlers, Jadeja, Akshar Patel, but he's more like Pragyan Ojha. He flights the ball, and therefore he's a wicket taker. His performance against Australia, 3 for 42 in the semi-final, brilliant. Then 2 for 25 in the quarter-final against Bangladesh. He was excellent against South Africa. He picked up 5 wickets. So this guy, he has big match temperament. He's picking heaps of wickets. He is restrictive. He has all the qualities to become, a great slow left-arm orthodox spinner, and someone India can look for the senior team also in the near future.
That's right. I remember the 5 for 28 versus South Africa, which was a great performance by him. But okay, let's talk about how everybody else also has come in as a cohesive unit when it comes to India's bowling. Batting, you've seen some really standout performances, but bowling has been a good unit. They've all bowled well together, and that has been led by Ravi Kumar with the new ball because of the kind of start he gives India. He gets those early breakthroughs. We saw that against Bangladesh as well as against Australia.
Absolutely. Ravi Kumar has been a revelation. See, he doesn't pick heaps of wickets, but he just picks enough with the new ball to dent the opposition and give India the ascendancy. He did that against Australia. He got Teague Willie, the 3-time man of the match performer. He did that against Bangladesh. He also did that against Bangladesh in the semi-final of the Asia Cup last year. He did it in the final of the Asia Cup against Sri Lanka. So he has this knack of picking wickets in the first 10 overs. It's a special ability he has exhibited very early in his career. Left arm, swing and seam, a lot of LBW dismissals, a very dangerous bowler.
Okay, talk about England now. Tom Prest has led from the front. He's been the leading scorer for them, along with Jacob Bethel. I think a lot will come down to how they bat against India, because Indian spinners, I think that the whole contest would be how England batting adapts to Indian spinners.
Absolutely. So Press has done what Rush Jewell has done. He's the captain. He bats at number 3. He is the highest scorer of the tournament. He is the playmaker in the middle order. He's like the he's like the AV. A lot will depend on him, how he sort of controls the innings. But I think the most dangerous batsman, Meha, is their opener, the Barbados-born, this guy called Jacob Bethel. I mean, what a guy. I mean, his strike rate of 110. The third highest in the tournament amongst all batsmen who scored above 200 runs. He's a ferocious hitter at the top of the order, much like Johnny Bairstow. I think he admires Johnny Bairstow also. He plays golf with Gary Sobers. I don't know. I was reading that somewhere. Ferocious hitter, he hits a number of boundaries. Very 88 of some 40 odd balls against South Africa in the quarterfinals. Very dangerous batsman. For me, he is going to be the X factor for England.
And also, even when you talk about England's bowling, they've been very good in the tournament.
Yeah.
Of course, India being the best, but Joshua Boyden and Rehan Ahmed, they found that exceptional leg spinner. They'd be very happy with that. And to get 3 4-wicket hauls in the tournament just goes on to show how he's been much above the rest when it comes to spin options.
Absolutely. I think he also returned a positive COVID test and did not play the first couple of matches. Came back, 3 matches, 4 wickets in all the 3 matches. And he's by far the best wrist spinner in this tournament. He's considered to be, hugely talented in the English domestic circuit. So they say he's the next Adil Rashid. You remember his spell against Afghanistan. He took 3 wickets in the 45th over. Afghanistan were cruising in the semis. Those 3 wickets, the match over.
Yeah.
And England pulled off a remarkable win. So this Rehan Ahmed is one to look out for. And Joshua Bowden has been, he basically does what Ravi Kumar does, just that Joshua Bowden picks more wickets and is quicker. Again, I mean, his performance against Afghanistan, he came in the 45th over. They needed 23 of 18 deliveries with 4 wickets in hand. He conceded just 4 runs of the over. And the momentum changed. And then he just conceded 2 runs of the last over. And England won the match. He's been the highest wicket taker of the tournament, 13 wickets. Him and Rehan Ahmed are the 2 key bowlers for me for England.
And that's why I think the battles would be Yashdul versus Rehan Ahmed, because in the middle overs, how will Yashdul play against Rehan Ahmed, or for that matter, Harnoor Singh? And I think he'd have a point to prove. He comes in with this reputation of being a very good, upcoming, a budding player, and hasn't done well in the tournament.
And he's a left-hander, ball will come into him.
That's right. So that's another one. What else are you looking forward to in terms of key battles in this final?
Ravi Kumar against Bethel will be fun.
Yeah.
I'm expecting him to get one in, rattle the stumps or trap him leg before wicket. There's Joshua against Raghuvanshi, could be interesting.
Yeah.
And Vicky Otswal against Press. That's what I'm looking for in the middle order of England. So.
Yeah, I think that'll be interesting as well, because he's been so effective in the middle overs, and how will Tom Press deal with him? But that's it from this special. Yes, so India are aiming for a record 5th title. Who's it going to be? How is it going to play out? We'll get you all the latest right here on News 9 Digital. For now, goodbye. Thanks for watching.